Well, that sucked. That really sucked. And now I had to restart the whole damn stream. So if you're just starting this from now, welcome. We had to restart the stream because I'd made a mistake when I set the stream up and my block size, something got screwed up. It's okay. We figured it out. We're all good again. We're all better. Everyone's back. Is that me? Oh, it is me too. Oh, that's because, oh, I see. I still had my compressor on. Things are amiss. Things are absolutely amiss right now. Oh man, take two it is. It reminds me of the old Facebook streaming days, because back in those days we used to have take twos and take threes and take fives because the comments would just randomly start working. Thanks, Mark. All right, we are back. Take two. Welcome to the AmpSim Universe, the AmpSim show on the AmpSim Universe. My name is Tyler, and today we're thrashing, as mentioned. I said it is as lame as possible there. I meant to say it louder, but there's a large collection of gaggle of geese. And they're not actual geese, they're just a bunch. When I see a bunch of like older ladies gathered talking in a parking lot, and from a distance, all you can hear is... That's all you can hear. I'm not saying they're not bigger ladies or anything. You can just hear that imitation was just of me being a bird. Not like I'm not trying to be a bigger person. I'm just saying out in the parking lot, there's a gaggle of geese and they're gaggling. So I was going to be like, well, they're dispersing. Was going to be like, yeah, we're thrashing. Yeah. Say it like Randy Macho Man Savage. I'm thrashing today. I'm very excited. Thrashing with you. Welcome back. Sorry about that. Realized that the stream was probably crapping out because I had decided to try to do the block size midstream. Then when I realized that I figured I could do it in stream if I but then I couldn't find the Sonobus plugin inside to reconnect. I couldn't find the Sonobus plugin inside of OBS. And so we're back. We're back. And I'm clipping all over the place today because I'm sitting way too close to my microphone, and my level is probably just needs to come down just a tiny bit, and we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be all right. Don't worry, we're gonna get this done. I want to have it like the least bit in my face as possible, but also not pointing towards the guitar to pick up all the picking. It's a balance. It's a gentle balance it is. So what am I doing today? Well, I'm gonna be recording some thrash metal. Kind of party thrash, more modern type thrash type stuff. Gonna be tuning D, not E flat, and I'm gonna be using one guitar that's got a set of Fishmans and one guitar that's got an older school setup, a DiMarzio Super Distortion, and it's gonna be a neat guitar tone. One side's gonna be very modern, one side of the tone is gonna be very kind of more of a vintage tone, and I'm gonna see what I can do to blend them together and make them sound huge. Speaking of huge, I mean, we're not talking about politics. We're talking about we're talking about just like world events. Man, that was crazy how that happened literally while we were streaming last time. We don't need to get into it, but man, that was pretty crazy. I'm out of tune a little bit. That's okay. This guitar has been a bad omen and bad luck since day one. I finally got a set of pickups that sounds pretty good in it, and it's actually playing really nice. This guitar has been doomed from the get-go. Essentially, the very shortest version that I can give you of how I came to acquire this guitar, it was brand new-ish. It'd be sitting in the showroom, the dry-ass showroom for quite some time. It had really prickly fret ends, but it was offered to me as a replacement for a guitar. I ordered a Jackson, and I ordered a Jackson Scott Ian Flying V, and I ordered it, and when it came in, the quality control that I saw on the instrument was absolutely ludicrous. They wanted to charge me $120 to do a setup on a guitar that literally the action was like this fucking high. And it looked like nobody had ever cut into the nut. Like, it looked like someone just braced it lightly on top of like the little tiny, like the desired rut in the nut that hadn't even been like filed or anything yet. It was ridiculous. And I said, I'm not gonna, there's no fucking universe. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I want a refund. The guy's like, well, it was a special order. I can't give you a refund, a full refund. This is fucking ridiculous. And so eventually he's like, well, that guitar, this Ibanez is worth roughly the same, if not a little bit more. I know you like your Ibanez RGs. How about we just call it a day? I was not happy about it, but eventually I took the guitar and I was on my way and I never went back. Arguably, I never went back because it wasn't good. It wasn't a good scenario. So anyways, that's the long and the short of that story. Guitar came into my possession. I used it to test about a billion sets of EMGs, a bunch of different sets. It's been routed plenty. A tiny little workspace in it. The tiniest Ibanez RG workspace. Like, look at this. Look at the cavity. This thing is tiny. This is small to work in, especially if you're trying to put a battery in there. It's not good. All right, so we're just chilling today. If you're in the stream, say hi. I'm here. My name is Tyler. We've got Eddie and Pedro, both staffers here. Basically, Pedro's a staffer. Eddie is a staffer here. And we can answer all your questions. Now is a good time. The streams are always a good time to ask us questions. Yeah, I don't even care if it's fucking unrelated. Drop something at me. And if I don't see it in the chat, somebody else will. And they'll get to you for certain. And I don't care if it's a beginner question. I don't care what it is. Also, in the meantime, share with me what you feel is your favorite thrash metal amp sim. Now we're going to go down the lineup. First in the lineup, Mercurial Audio Spark. And yes, I know they recently just put out their Marshall equivalent to an amp box. Don't specifically know they won't actually give the specific reasoning why Spark wasn't ported over with everything else. A lot of the other plugins were ported over, no problem. This was not ported over, and I don't know why, specifically why, and they never really, I don't think they gave a reason as specifically why it was done that way. But nonetheless, it happened, and it is what it is. It wasn't ported over, so I still use this one all the fucking time. Still one of my favorites for leads. I'm using it for some vintage thrash tones today, though. It might be second half of the stream with a different guitar, but we'll see. Solidus VS8100. Yeah, there's a lot of really, really, really good thrash tones underneath the hood of this bad boy right here. We've got the current Bay, and this is probably my favorite high gain amp sim of all time. We always will be. I've had moments where I'm like, nah, this one's definitely better, and then I keep coming back to this one. So this is my favorite high gain sim ever made, than Fortin Nameless Suite, and this is the X version. X. Want to buy the letter X? A letter what? X. Right. All right. So, anyways, we also have we've got the STL Tonality Las Silamart. Fantastic amp sim right here. And last but very not least, we got the Nembrini Audio JMP Pro, based on the Marshall JMP1, which was a fantastic, fun little unit that is still to this day kicking ass. A little gold unit that sits in one rack space, often powered by a larger golden unit. It sits in a few rack spaces, but I mean, I've seen this thing powered with a billion different power sources, and it always sounds really cool. If you guys have never heard of the Marshall JMP1, get out, have a look at it. This is, as far as I know, there are only 2 plugins that have done the JMP1, but I could be wrong. I'm not usually wrong in that stuff, but I am admittedly a little bit more disconnected than I used to be. So here we are. Now we're going to get started with Fortin Nameless Suite, and I've been dialing in this one in for a couple minutes now. All right, now I'm also working over some riffs today. I just see if I can find something that sounds cool that I want to throw into this project. I've got a bunch already that are sounding pretty good. That's a messy riff right now. I'm not gonna bother playing that one. Ah. Little out of tune. It's not agreeing with me today. Usually this guitar is pretty awesome for staying in tune. I will give it that. And toot the horn. I'm in tuned in D standard, by the way. And again, this is the Fishman Fluence Modern Matt Heafy signature set. And it sounds good. It is my, as I said in the stream prior to this, I'm gonna have to go back and nuke that one. Don't let me forget that, somebody. That sounds awesome right now. A little bit more of the top end would be fine. I think I finally have these set up in a way that I think I like them. I'm not 100%. Kind of screwed it up a little bit because in looking to see if these ones had this, there's these little jumpers, and if you put the jumpers on certain parts of the pickups, you can, some of them have these interesting modes, like the Ryan Bruce Fluff Signature Fluence Modern. Wow, that's a lot to get out. I did it though. But that pickup has this little jumper that you can put in for like this, almost like this treble boost, and it sounds pretty cool. I dig it though, for sure. And if you guys want to check out a good pickup, that one's not bad. I just not sure I like it for the guitar that it's currently sitting in. I'm not playing that guitar a lot, and it's a guitar I love playing, so something is wrong. I need to take that pickup out and put something back in it so I can start playing that one again. I just finishing touches on our NAMM Universal Tone Kit. It's a tool kit / tone kit. It is coming with, guys, this plugin is shipping. We'll call it shipping. This is releasing with a gigantic stock of captures for pedals of all types of pedals. Fuzz pedals, boost pedals, overdrive pedals, you name it, they're in there. Giant wealth of them, a whole crap load of amps from some of the best creators on this planet of NAMM captures. We're also coming at you with bass and guitar IRs from a number of wonderful people that have donated them. Dr. Bonker Sound Lab even in on this with 10 different IRs, 6 for guitar, 4 for bass, a number of different speaker layouts and sizes, etc. And man, I cannot wait to bring you guys NAMM Universal. It is going to be absolutely fun to bring it to you guys. And I know I noticed there's another company out there right now that's already, we understand that other companies are going to see this if they didn't already, and other companies are going to already doing stuff like this. That's okay, because ours is still going to be there. Ours is going to be a different take on it. Ours is going to be free, and you guys will be able to use it. And it's going to come, like I said, absolutely whack loaded with stuff that you'll be able to use. So I cannot wait. I really can't. So as far as I know, the beta is fully functioning, and we're getting some bugs out before we bring it to our beta team. Oh man, that is very, very delicious. Man. sounds really good. I'm really like, I really enjoy this set. The set of pickups. It's just a different bird from the rest of the Fluence Moderns I've tried. Nice. What do you mean? Oh, I see. Yeah, that sounds really good. This plugin, there's no doubt though, whenever I'm doing anything that involves any kind of just like a decent amount of gain distortion, I'm always looking at the Nameless Suite X, or Nameless Suite rather. Although if this isn't looking the way you remember, by the way, they have the original as well. So they have, if this looks a little different than what you're used to, I just like with the black there. It sounds great, but this is a bit more. Yeah, absolutely. So you guys are very well aware. If you're not very well aware that the Fortin Nameless Suite is a crusher at this point, where have you been? This is the sim that just set the entire amp sim world on fire. I remember the day. I remember where I was. I remember what I was doing when this one came out. And this one came out and it was like, fucking, this exploded. Everybody that I knew, whether they were into plugins or not, was coming at me like, have you heard this thing? Or do you know anything about this? Because they knew I knew everything about amp sims at the time. But when this came out, me and everyone else that I knew were all talking to each other going, what the fuck? This thing is crazy. We all noticed one little thing about it. However, and again, this is just pure speculation, so it's not something I'm going to go over. But I mean, we have a theory as to somebody really old school that might be involved in the making of some of the neural DSP or coding of some of the neural DSP stuff. That's all I'm going to say. Either way, this company came on the market with one product. They already had the Dark Glass Ultra out at the time. But that Dark Glass was a relatively unknown company. It was absolutely. At the time that Neural DSP launched, Dark Glass was still very much an up-and-comer as well. And all they had was the Dark Glass Ultra plugin. Then this one came out and absolutely set the world on fire. And the rest is history. This is absolutely the amp sim that started the next generation of amp sim technology and amp sims, etc. Even though there was still some amazing stuff on the market at the time, and you know, there was still, let's not say that this reinvented the fucking wheel, okay? There were some amazing plugins on at the same exact time this came out that really are still kick-ass, amazing plugins. So let's not say that this single-handedly reinvented the amp sim. That wasn't what it did. It came with the suite style, which was, that was the big difference. The suite style of things. That made things a world of difference. Even though plugins like Amplitude and other plugins were doing the suite style long before that in a larger scale, this was the first like rig-based kind of smaller suite style plugin, and it, like I said, it revolutionized everything. So much respect, and I will be like very likely using the Fortin Nameless on something. Now, moving along, I'm curious. Let's use the JMP Pro, and we're gonna jump in an overdrive as well after. But for now, we're not gonna jump any overdrive. A little bit out of tune. And in the background, we have Lost Horizon with Highlander. If you haven't heard that song, you really should, just for fun's sake. Make sure you've got 10 minutes packed away, though, guys. It's going to take you a good, solid 10 plus minutes to listen to this song, but you'll be amazed. So, this is the JMP1. Let's go to the screen. And you don't need to see my big ugly face for any longer than you need to, let's be honest. So today, what are we doing? We're just thrashing around today, playing through some thrash riffs, going over some stuff that you might find very handy for thrash metal. And yeah, so if you are a thrash metal fanatic like myself, and whether it's old or new, I will say that both of them have their amazing quality. Both of them have their pros and cons. I mean, when I listen to a lot of old thrash metal, I listen to production quality that bugs me sometimes, being completely honest. And then I listen to new thrash metal, and I hear a lot of very predictable cookie cutter kind of things happening. So I wish we could, like, you know, it would only be great if you could like take the production quality for the newer stuff and put it on the older stuff. I know there's somebody out there right now that just is hating me, like, shut up, that was part of it, that's part of it. That's part of the era, you can't do that. Not getting the tones I'd be wanting. Oh, I can hear that verb, I don't want it, the delay. Reverb, power, off. Go away. We don't need you right now. We need reverb into reverb. Yeah, it's much better. Much better. Much better. All right. For the gain, let's crank this up. We got that to 20. This is already at 20. Now we can use OD1 or OD2. OD2 a little bit more. I like the OD1 because it's a little bit scoopier. Scoopier sounding. You can get into the negatives here. That doesn't sound too bad. Now we'll throw that we'll throw that boost in here. Nice bite to that. That's a really nice bite to things. So guys, it's a kind of a slow going stream today, and these are going to be a bit slower sometimes. And today my attitude and my energy levels a bit down. Man, you ever have one of those days where you have like a negative interaction inside the first few hours of your day, and then it just sets your day into like this fuck you direction? I hate it. I hate when people are miserable in the morning and they choose to make you miserable as well. No one around here. It's not the missus or anything. I leave this house today and there's just, between the driver, someone at the gas station, someone at the disc golf course, on the pathway, just a bunch of negative interactions the first portion of my day today that just made the rest of it a little bit challenging. And but we're here together, and we're here to make the best of it. So I came on here to get in a better mood today, and I did absolutely. And I'm digging some of the tones we're working on today. I'm always willing to work with stuff that I haven't really blended together before. I don't recall ever blending the X Drive and MP Pro together, but here we are, having a good time with it. Now, I am going to change this to the 57 as well. Go off axis with that. And go from there. Yeah, so how do you guys think of the sound of the Fishmans through this plugin? For me, I'm not sure if I've even tried these the Fishman through this plugin before, so it's new for me, and it's great. One thing I think Igor should really do with this though is consider, even just loosely consider putting a power amp tube selector switch on here like he did on the 5150. I think anything that he puts a power amp in, I think he should have the EL34 and the 6L6 option for all. That is so you can have both tube qualities with these preamps. I know people in reality that have a wonderful 6L6 power amp with a GMP one, and it sounds fantastic. Some people might be like, well, hang on. These are meant to emulate Marshall amps inside a small box. So, and being that those are all EL34s, you might want to stick with that. Not necessarily. Maybe you want to get a little inventive. Maybe you don't. Who knows? But either way, I think that having that would be a nice touch. Oh, hopefully you guys are doing great today. I'm in a vastly improving mood. I have a nice liter of cola here, and I should be in the best mood ever. I'm on my summer break. It's only week 3 of the summer break, but I have just been in this mental funk that I cannot get out of. I don't know what it is. Guys, I'm not sure what it is specifically, but I'm definitely in the bit of a... I can't hear that note and not laugh. Sorry. I've been in a bit of a funk the last little while, which is the part of the lack of streaming. But man, right now, this thing sounds incredible. So if I take the boost off, but if you turn the boost on, it instantly gives it that modern kind of edge and touch to things. Yes, I'm aware. Yeah, I have to update this. It lets me know every time. What's going on, Bo? How are you? I'm not sure I have enough gain here to go for go all in for the crazy, crazy high gain death metal, unless I'm quad tracking, in which case I have tons of gain. But if I was going to use this in more of a live setting or anything like that, I don't think I have enough gain to do that, but I have more than enough to do a really nice thrash tone so far right here. I'm going to get rid of the VHT and go with the Marshall, not with the green bag. Where's the other? Isn't there? I thought there was 2 Marshalls in here. actually like the VHT cabinet the best, so let's stick there. Yeah. I also watched that bit, a little bit of the bass stream the other day. Holy cow, that was a train wreck. I was a train wreck that day. I thought the bass playing, as I was playing, I'm thinking, man, I'm actually playing some reasonable bass today. I watched the video back. Boy, I was wrong. Bass playing is so sloppy. All right, so this is another option that I've been looking at for this. It's amazing that I have so many options. You might think, like, isn't it? Would it not be like options paralysis? Yeah, it really is. But I kind of have what I really kind of want to go for out in kind of in advance. Like, these are the plugins I thought about it in advance. Also thinking about this one a bit today. We're going to switch over that to that, and I'm going to get a little tone going with this as well. Man, what an amazing vocal passage this is. If you haven't heard this song, guys, I would thoroughly suggest going and doing so, because gosh, is it impressive. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right, so this is the Audiority VS8100. This is Solidus is the name, and gotta make it bigger. Yeah, there it is, bigger. This thing's based on the Marshall Valve State 8100, and this is an amp that's near and dear to my heart. And it's an absolute beast. It really is. It's a monster of a plugin, monster of an amp in real life. And you might be thinking it's just this little solid state thing that nobody really cares about. But man, it's funny. The older this amp gets, the more legacy and notoriety it gets as it goes, because people just kind of keep on bringing it along for the ride and keep on bringing it to new eras. And, you know, when it came out, it was the coolest thing that had been invented ever at the time, because this thing was a distortion, basically an affordable amp that had at the time, keep in mind, at the time, crushing distortion on board. You didn't need a pedal. You didn't need anything with this thing when it first came out. You just needed a better cabinet. The cabinet it came with, albeit, was fucking terrible. It sounded okay, but it was 4 speakers, 412s that were really condensed into a very small, shitty cabinet. Didn't sound that great, but if you put this thing through a proper 412 cabinet, it sounded gigantic. And that's what we did in a bunch of the different bands that I was in. We always had one of these, if not 2 of them at times. And there was so many different tones that you could make with them. And when we were using them, you know, everybody was using this at the time. Everybody did death metal, hardcore, thrash metal, punk rock, grunge. You name it, this amp has been used for that. So it's been used for everything under the sun, and continues to be at this point. Bands are still reaching for this thing, using it in the studio for just certain tones. So that's pretty cool. Fuck, this thing sounds so good. That sounds about as good as I'm gonna get it on this one. This sounds superb right now. actually I can even sound even better. There's a preset in here called the Light Scoop, and I'm going to use that. This, guys, if you haven't got this already, go and get it. It's a terrific plugin. Tired but surviving. Is that basically like how we're meant to live life at this point? Are we all just not meant to be tired and just sort of survive? Well, if you're out there and if you're watching this during a stream or after the fact, and one of our streams helps you in your day to feel a little bit better about your day or gets you a good mood on, leave us a comment. Say something nice to us as well, because you know what, guys? A little nice goes a long way. And so far, so good. In our comments, our YouTube comments have been phenomenally positive. I've only had to delete one, which was clearly just a troll. And there was another one where it's just a dude was complaining about the amount that I talk, and where I just basically told him, hey, you don't like the way you don't like how much I talk? Hey, go and find the billion dudes in the search bar right up top. You can go and find a billion dudes and ladies that are all just playing and not talking at all. I've been thinking about going out and purchasing myself some of those nice underboob shirts, but I feel like if I go out and purchase some of those underboob shirts to try and bring in more people, all I'm gonna get is some dude constantly bothering me and wanting me to wash his car or something, you know, like, I don't know, that's a slippery slope. I'm not gonna go that way just yet. We're thinking about it. Well, I'm just kidding, guys. Anyways, it's been phenomenally positive. You guys have been great comments. I've been really appreciating it. I thought there's a few different times where I've said things I thought I was probably going to pop somebody off, and there was just one person that I think I might have poked one person the wrong way. They came at me with a troll comment, and I troll replied, and then I deleted. So yeah, anyways. Fuck this. These pickups. Sometimes I pick up this guitar and I think I don't really like these pickups. And sometimes I pick them up and I go, wow, this set is terrific. And right now I'm having a great testing and reviewing session. I've been working on mixes for pre-recorded content, and at the start of all of the pre-recorded content will be a short 60 to 90 seconds, maybe even at times even 45 seconds or even 30-second mix, a very, very short mix of me using the plugin to its the best of its capabilities. I'm not gonna mime it. I know people love that miming stuff, and I'm not gonna do her. I'm not gonna mime it and then do all the crazy rock faces and stuff. I'm not that type of dude. And so I'm not going to do that, but we're going to listen to the mix together. And if maybe I'll do what Nirvana did on that one episode of Top of the Pop, where like he was playing guitar like this, and the other dude was playing the bass like on his head, and the drums were upside down. I just can't. I've tried. I recorded a number of pre-recorded videos, like reviews, short, 10 to 20 minutes max. I recorded a number of them. And all of the times I tried to mime to the mixes, and all of it just comes off as, man, it's just cringing so hard at myself that my back wants to turn over and break itself. You ever cringe so hard you feel like you're gonna break something? That's how hard I cringe at myself when I mime along to my music. So there'll be none of that, but I'm gonna be doing some informative and hopefully fun. We're gonna try out I'm gonna upload in the next couple of days. I'm going to put up 5 or 6 of them, testers, just to see what you guys think of how things are looking. how the format is. And if you guys dig them, we'll make some more. If you guys don't dig them, I'll figure out something else. Or we can just do these, because I really do dig these, but I realize if I want to get some shares from developers, which I do like, I appreciate it when I get shares from developers, but developers have basically told me, these are too long, and I swear maybe a little too much, and that's okay. It doesn't break my heart. So I'm gonna come up with something that where I swear less, talk less stories, more review. Let's keep it to the point, 10-20 minutes, and we're done. And also going to be some other things to be coming out with. Also, another thing you will never see on this channel are shootouts. Never going to see a shootout on this channel. Never going to happen. I get requests for them. I've had 3 or 4 requests for them already. Not going to happen. Not going to do them. Too many variables. Way too many variables. I just don't like doing shootouts at all. Essentially, I like when there are multiple products from multiple multiple takes on the same product from multiple developers. I like that because every developer has their own style, their own way of modeling things and doing things. Some of them are going to be great, some of them are going to be kind of bad. But the thing is, I like the way, making sure that I'm not getting a parcel. Yeah, in any event, I like when that happens. I like trying them all. I like that they all exist, but there's no need for comparison. There really, for me, there isn't. I can tell you when something's good, tell you when it's bad, but ultimately it's up to you to figure out which one you like best. And man, this plugin just never fails. It ever fails. Hey, look at this. Does this look familiar? Looks familiar to me. Almost like someone put a different skin on it. Anyways, this was the actual, this is the sword. And when this plugin came out, I was working with Audiority, actually. I can freely say that now. At the time this came out, I was working with and for Audiority as doing some product design, preset creation, a little bit of artist relations, a little bit of content creation, a little bit of column A, column B, helping with beta testing and everything else. And this was one thing that always stuck with me. One component that I've always felt needed its own plugin. So when we started this effort, we asked Luca, hey, Luca, do you want to do this thing? And Luca's like, yeah, let's do that fucking thing. So we did the thing, and now here we are. It sounds great. This thing is awesome. I'm not using it currently because I kind of want to just like strip it down and show you what the amp is giving you here. But nonetheless, here you are. And can you tell there are no tubes in this amp? Just by the plugin? No, hell no, I can't tell. Man, I remember when this YouTuber, Arnold Plays Guitar, tested this plugin, and he said it simply has no high gain abilities. He didn't understand the high gain abilities. I think it was Arnold Plays Guitar. I'm not trying to drop on the guy or anything like that, but like, how does anybody here, and I saw that comment 2 or 3 different times, like, oh, it's pretty cool, but it's not good for metal. What are we talking about here? Not good for metal? Come on now. Yeah, this is so good. So far, my quest for thrash tones has been quite fruitful. I think I probably have another 20 or 30 different plugins that I could throw into this list that could provide some very, very workable thrash metal tones. But, and there's probably a few that I'm kind of forgetting about. But right here, oh, the Laney Ironheart plugin. That one too. That's something I'm going to explore for this project because the Laney Ironheart has a wonderful, wonderful rhythm channel that is just like a thrash masterpiece. So another idea. And I forgot I was going to do the my like a little demo and review of the new upgrades for Aurora DSP's Rhino plugin, which is a fantastic fucking plugin. If you've never used it, go check it out. They've just done some updates and upgrades. They've added another amp and some other inside, and I think you'll probably dig it. Yeah, the PV Bandit is another amp, or the PV Stereo Chorus 212, whatever you... Everything from that teal stripe era of PV was just wonderful. We're talking about one of the strangest companies that's made some of the strangest business decisions in the entire history of amps. But what a cool company then. And they've just always had the knack of being able to put out some pretty cool, pretty interesting amps over the years. But as Bo mentioned, the PV Bandit is one of those budget hackers. If you guys knew how many classic death metal albums and classic metal albums or thrash albums or power metal albums had a PV Bandit on it somewhere, you might actually like shit yourself. It came armed with a 112 Sheffield speaker that was loud as fuck. The thing could actually stand up in a scenario. I can't talk when this is going on. I'm sorry, but anybody doing a complete mockery of a Danzig impression, I'm gonna stop what I'm doing to listen to you. So if you're out there and you fancy yourself with a Danzig impression, you want to make me laugh, go ahead, because I will come right back at you with mine. Did you say your wife? Married, dude? I don't. You're not. You're not. You're not married. Sauce is the best Bible sauce. I just kept playing. I can't stop playing that big open E. That chord is also that really good way. Strumming that chord is a really good way to suss out shitty plugins, by the way. It really is. Yeah. My wife. Oh, that's great. No, it was me and my wife had a moment. I guess sometimes these days some might consider the Wi-Fi to be their wife and master, right? Like, to be honest, we're all kind of slaves to Wi-Fi. I think I might have chosen my tune for this project, guys. I don't know how much deeper we're gonna get into this tone search. I'm gonna keep looking, but I think I'm just for this particular project, I'm gonna go with the Solidus VS8100 and the Nameless Suite it's side by side, and maybe probably quad track scenario for bass. I have it limited down to a few different things, but I think I might give, just to see what's better, my method or the parallax method. I might just try parallax instead of going with a multi-channel bass, a parallel bass distortion scenario. But if it doesn't succeed, then I can just go my own way anyway. But I want to see what, can it keep up? Can it not keep up? I've never really given it the chance in a mix to do that, because I was always so tied. I don't need that because I have this method, and if that plugin does is mimic this method in an easier way, why do I need it if this is already what I do? You know, I saw a lot of people with that sentiment when Parallax came out saying, well, like, I already know how to do parallel bass distortion on my own, so I don't need this. And that is a perfect reason not to buy that plugin. I'm not going to lie to you guys. If you know, and you are very, very well endowed when it comes to knowing how to, do that sort of thing, and do parallel bass distortion on two different tracks, duplicated, whatever. If you know how to do that, it's right. It's correct. You probably don't need parallax. But if you don't know how to do that, then yes, parallax is very handy, especially if you're just wanting to use it as a standalone to create content, other things. Not something you can generally do with just one plugin. So yeah, but nowadays there's also a bunch of different plugins that kind of do the thing that parallax does, that whole parallel distortion inside one plugin. There's a few plugins that do that these days. So I'm going to give a couple of those a shot during this recording process as well, just for fun. I'd like to point out, as I like to put out a disclaimer, I am not in any way, shape, or form a professional audio engineer or a producer of any kind. I do not claim to be any of those things. I'm just a dude that loves amp sims and loves amps. And I record sometimes in my spare time. That's a cool riff. All right, guys, I'm going to take my 3 minute break, and I'll be back in about 3 minutes for about 45 to 50 plus minutes. We're going to just keep thrashing away here. If you guys have any plugins you'd like to hear during this stream, let me know. Something you think might be good for thrashings that maybe I could check out in this stream or another stream. Or just fucking, you know what? Throw at me your favorite thrash records of all time. Your favorite thrash bands. The guitars that you think are meant for thrash metal. Is there a guitar out there that's meant specifically for thrash metal? Definitely not. But there are guitars that just look cooler playing thrash. Like, no one ever wanted to see a Fender Strat playing thrash metal. It's just not a guitar that you see that often out there. Although it does exist. Just saying, I would rather see a Flying V or an Explorer type guitar or a Kelly. You know what I mean? Throw it at me in the comments. What's your favorite shape for thrash metal? And your favorite brand as well. Maybe you have a particular model that you think is just breathes thrash metal. Put it in the comments. I'll be right back, guys. 3 minutes. Thanks so much. Hell yeah. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you guys are having a very positive and very relaxing day. Whatever it is that you guys are doing, I hope you guys are really laying into it today, leaning into it rather, as I'm going to do after this. I've been trying, it's really hard for me to not to create like a vicious cycle when I'm off work. Cause like I am definitely a lazy fucking dude. I have this weird thing where like if I'm off and somebody like and I end up with some plans or like commitments. I don't like making any commitments whatsoever when during my time off. It's brutal. It's just terrible. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's terrible, and I'm a terrible person for it. All right, so we're gonna get into Lassie Lambert tonality. This is STL tonality, Lassie Lambert. We have not seen a tonality plugin in some time. It's interesting. They've been up to other things. Obviously, they've been very busy over at Ignite Amps and STL Tones. They've been very, very busy. They've done, obviously there's no tonality, and the tonality was where that's sort of like the platform and the series that launched the company kind of to new heights. So I hope they don't abandon that for the other things they've got going on. Like, Amp Hub is incredible. I love Amp Hub, love it. And I love, okay, hang on. I love Amp Hub. I love Control Hub, and I like Tone Hub. Does that make any sense to you guys? Am I allowed to say it kind of like that? Is that the better way to put it? I don't dislike Tone Hub, but I don't love it. I don't really love profiles. Profiles and captures, it's like, it's got to be I've got to love the profile itself. And I find that, like, I don't know, some of those profile plugins, I don't know. It's up and down. There are a lot of them out there. If I was to have to say, though, the best one of them, and the one that provides the most ability to authentically edit the profile with success is Tone Hub, though. The tracer, that tracer amp that they have in the bottom, typically when it comes to a profile, and all the dials on whatever EQ is involved, they're ideally best set at noon, because that's the profile itself. That's when the profile is itself, and nothing is edited. This is how the profile was shot. The second you get into editing those controls on a profile, it's almost like, I've said it a million times, it's like you're using Photoshop. Okay, and as soon as you start using a lot of Photoshop, what happens to the picture, guys? It looks like shit. It looks fake. It looks photoshopped. Just like when you're using a profiler and you really crank any of those, you try to turn anything all the way to the right or left, you're really working that pretty hard. You're getting away from the authenticity. In my opinion, you should find another profile that sounds more like what you're after, instead of editing it too much in the controls. Now, the cool thing about the tracer amp is, where you normally only get that 4 to 6 kind of play in those controls, while staying kind of authentic and not editing to the profile too much, you can get out of those parameters with the tracer amp by kind of going this way or that. So I will say that Tone Hub is pretty cool. Not necessarily for me. Don't use it on a daily basis. Amp Hub is definitely for me, and so is Control Hub. So I can get behind those. Tonality, we haven't seen one in a bit, and I would like to see one. I like that they mostly stick with producers. No, they kind of producers and guitar players, but I like that they've leaned on more on producers than just individual guitar players, because let's be honest, the producers like Lassie Lambert, the dude has an amp collection that is just like it's legendary boutique and high gain amp collection that is just outstanding. By the way, you guys are hearing real seagulls right outside the window. That's fantastic. That's something else you're hearing now. Now, let's keep going here. One of the things about the default tone, the default tone here, is that I don't like, is that he's got a pretty severe curve on the EQ. For the default tone, I'm not sure I would have gone that severe. I don't like to get really that severe with anything in a default, however you like to say it. I don't like to really get that. I don't like to push anything in any one direction very far. Like a default tone should be your basic meat and potatoes, get started, this sounds awesome, let's get going kind of tone. And I think that when I start using it, that one kind of sets me in the wrong direction, just if I'm being honest. Now, let's keep going. Turn that off, turn this on. All right. Solid. Let's turn that back a little bit. Let's turn that up. And let's turn that back a little bit. So this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is a JCM 800 that's been modified. And you've got your gain mod, your deep mod, and if Bo's still in the chat, Bo could probably definitely explain likely, or at least very close, what the Legendary Tones hot mods do. And as for me, I'm just going to say, gives it more beef. This one give it more balls. Like, that's whatever. I haven't tried the bass. Dude, the bass sim, okay, I'm gonna be honest, the bass sim and sorry, I keep wanting to call it Colombian Necktie, because initially the plugin was actually called Tone Suite Colombian Necktie. Some branding issues, some other things changed. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know if I was supposed to share that or not, but bah, what is it? What are you gonna do? So anyways, that it is what it is. But the bass amp came out really well. I just think, and I forgot to mention it to Chris, I think that something more could be done with the dirt knobs on that amp. I think right now when you turn up the gain on like the top or the middle, it just adds like this sort of, I don't know how to really explain it. It adds this odd, it's kind of like just like an odd high-pitched rumble, if that makes any sense at all, for something high-pitched to rumble. It doesn't. It sounds like a mosquito in a matchbox, like someone put a bug in a box and shook it up. It was like, you know, there's something to it that I think could get a little bit more saturated, and something a little bit more could be done with those, but that is in maybe for an update later on. NAM is awesome. NAM is awesome because A, it's free, and B, I just find it different. When I use ToneX, for example, and I've explained this 100 times too, when I use ToneX, I tried thousands of profiles looking for something, and I was searching for the good, rather than enjoying the plugin. If I'm searching and searching and searching for, you know, just thinking, okay, well, maybe it's the profiles. And I even went and purchased a couple of ToneX profile packs, and even those ones, everything just still sounded like cardboard. Everything I was listening to sounded like cardboard and plastic. And I just could not get it. It is not good. Amplitude on its own destroys ToneX. Absolutely, just like a gorilla destroying a fucking pop can, just going and squishing it into oblivion. That's even Amplitude on its own, Amplitude Max or Amplitude 4, I think, is it Amplitude 4 or 5 at this point? The current version of Amplitude destroys the tones in ToneX. Absolutely wrecks them. I don't understand the point of ToneX. Okay, I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm not shitting on it. I'm not trashing it. I just don't understand what people are seeing in this plugin. Is it all paid marketing? I don't understand, because I've talked to a lot of people that are really behind it, and I'm using it. Look, I really want to hear what these people. I want the experience these people are having, and I've done everything right. And I still get, I mean, I'm not even going to get into the fact that for like the first 8 months or so, that plugin was so phenomenally broken and glitchy and bugged. It took them a long time to get the bugs out. ToneX, not for me. Rig Player, let's go over a couple of different, because we were talking about Tone Hub, go over a couple real quick. The Rig Player from Overloud in their THU plugin, it's pretty good. I've tried some there that really made me happy. I didn't have to look far. Almost every pack that I tried had very useful tones. And thanks so much to Overloud for sending me a ton of packs for the Rig Player. I wanted to see. I was like, guys, if you could send me a bunch of stuff. They're like, yeah, here you go. Very confident that I was gonna like it, and I loved it. I can't say I use it all the time, but as a profiler as it is, it is very, very nice. I have my theories about where the tech came from. And if you notice, there's a couple of notes in collaborations in the THU manual. I'll let you guys find them if you'd like. It makes me wonder. They collaborated with a couple of at least one other developer, and it makes me wonder a little bit. Makes me wonder a little bit, but at the same time, I'm not going to wonder too hard. But the rig player, really like it. I think the rig player is wonderful, and Overloud deserves your money. And boy, they don't. I mean, the packs are not super cheap, but they're also not expensive. But you can really, really build up a lot of dollars in those packs. Lots and lots of extra dollars in all that extra purchasable content, guys. They also have their new Super Cap feature. Again, lots of DLC, guys. Lots of DLC available. That's a slippery slope. And that is a very slippery slope as to whether you guys feel like that's a good expenditure of your money, or if it's not, that's fine as well. We talk about that thing. And like, I always like to talk to you guys about stuff that's affordable, because in this day and age currently, holy fuck, is everything not insanely expensive? I saw a meme the other day. It was just like someone quietly existing and then someone dropping by and being like, that'll be $70, and being like, okay. Like, that's literally how life feels. Like, you can't sit and enjoy 5 minutes without feeling like it's going to cost you money in some way. So guys, I'm always here for you. I'm limited budget. I want to help you guys. If you're on a limited budget, let's be honest, most of us are on a limited budget these days. If you're not, tell me, what does it feel like? You know, I often wonder, what does it feel like to be on a non-limited budget? But still, if you're on a limited budget out there, I can help you save money in so many different ways, from your pickups. Yes, we're all very impressed, sir. Enjoy this small penis. We're all on the limited budget. I can help you save money and sound good. That is what I'm telling you right now, guys. I'm not asking for your money. Don't give me your money. Just hit that like and subscribe, and I can help you guys get good tone. We can help you guys collectively as a team get great tone for not a lot of money, and right down to saving on used pickups, lower end brands, higher end brands that don't charge lower end prices, like Iron Gear pickups, for example. A lot of different things. Strings, lots of different ways we can help you guys keep strings clean. A lot of different things, helping to do your own maintenance, simple maintenance, so that you're saving $40 every time you bring your guitar to your tech, aka the guy that just learned how to fix shit and start calling himself a tech. There are schools for that, but what I'm saying is the guy who's a tech, he's probably something else, and it's tech is his side gig. So you don't have to go and hand him $40. We're helping you guys to save money on plugins, on pickups, and we want to get you guys sounding good to make sure you can sound good on your budget. And part of that is sales. Currently, this is gonna be a nice segue. Here we go. Are you guys gonna check this out? Nice segue for it. Here it goes. You guys want to save money? Well, we're talking about saving money. Head over to STL phones, as they are currently running like I think it's like a 50% off everything sale right now, if depending on when you're watching this video. Where you can get the plugin. I think you can get the plugin that I'm currently using for quite cheap. So let's go over what left to right. What do we got involved here in Lassie Lambert's plugin? Well, we have what looks to be a Boss EQ pedal, I think. The liver kick from Eris Effects, if I'm not mistaken, although it looks to be unbranded. It says liver kick, which I'm not sure if it's proprietary or not. Either way, Eris Effects did a plugin, a pedal called the liver kick. Excuse me, which, if I'm not mistaken, it is a modified version of the TCE boost EQ booster. I could be wrong. Now, we also have the Lassie Lambert Overdrive. Not a goddamn clue what this thing is based on. It sounds like Joe Tube Screamer to me, and that's all I really be needing is Joe Tube Screamer. This sounds like Joe Screamer, and it sounds like Joe Screamer. Now, amps. Let's go to the amps. Let's go to the screen. We got the Mean Machine, which is, again, I'm not sure if Bo answered that question or not, but this is based on, I think, a JCM 800, and it's got the hot mods, the Legendary Tones hot mod. You see a lot of them. I see the ads for them, and there's always like some guitar player X that everyone's heard of, and they have got a picture of, there's a picture of them holding the hot mod circuit thing edition. There's like 2 little tubes that stick up from it, and they'll be holding it in their hands, and it'll be like, hot mod signature fucking Mick Mars. You know, like there's always, they've got, go look it up. There's a ton of them, and it's all of like their pictures and all of their ads are basically just like well-known guitar players holding their hot mods mod, which is, you know, it's like almost like the guy goes to like concerts with the mod and just says, hey man, can you hold this? I'll take a picture and give you $1,000. I'm not talking shit on the guy. That'll actually be a brilliant business decision that's probably been done by a lot of different people over the years. Now, this thing sounds awesome. Next amp is the I'm going to call it the Franken-Dieter. This is a Frank Dieter. This, of course, is a diesel Herbert. And if you've never used the Herbert, it's pretty damn nifty. There's only one or so other plugins I can think of that are based on the Herb. And one is licensed by Diesel, and it is available at Plugin Alliance. This one unlicensed, but guess what? It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter whether it's fucking licensed or not, guys. Enough of that bullshit. That's bullshit. That's all I can tell you. If you're one of those people that's like, well, actually, it's better because it's licensed. No, it's not. Shut up. Stop talking. You're a noob. I would never tell a beginner to shut up unless they're spewing bullshit. And I see that. Come on. There's 4 or 5 of us in this conversation right now. I guaranteed at least 5 of us have come across a conversation just like that, where there is someone out there that's like, actually, this one's better because it's licensed. It doesn't matter if it's licensed. It matters how good has it been developed. In this case, also quite nicely. The other one does not come with a suite. It comes with an amp and the cab. You got to do your own signal chain. You got to do your own boost pedals and stuff. But that, to me and my personal beliefs, that's fine. When you go and buy an amp from the music store, they don't give you pedals with it, right? No. Learn how to build a signal chain. You will thank me later, guys. So anyways, this one is based on the Herbert. It has this really neat mid-cut feature that really scoops it into oblivion. Why was I about to say Marcel? Wow. Manuel comes out of nowhere. It's just like, scooped? What? Freyskin's coming out of nowhere. Scooped? What? Scooped? So this thing is very scooped, although it's not on my list of amps that I'm going to be trying to use for this, the thrash-in. But we're going to try it anyway. I think. I thought we were going to try it. Yeah, we are. All right, cool. Let's see. Yeah, it sounds good. Now let's try that mid-cut feature. Check this out as well. You can make it straight 90s death metal. It goes 0 to 90s death metal in just the flick of the little flick of a wrist. That's all. Like, I could literally be at Moore's Sound Studios right now. That is my favorite thing about the Diesel Herbert, is that it has that feature. I think every amp Every amp in the world should have that mid-cut intensity and level baked right in. Please, everyone, just put that in there for me. That would be fantastic. I don't need it to this degree. That's just showing you guys like where the intensity can go. Where I like it is kind of like just a hair. And I actually don't like to back off the mids from the actual, I don't like to back off the mids from the actual channel itself. I like to just leave the mids where they're at in the channel and then kind of strip the mids out. I don't like to double, so I don't want to scoop out something that's not there. It sounds good because the mids are still trying to punch their way through that scoop, but they're only going to punch as far as you're going to let them. So I kind of like that about this feature. So let's try that again. Holy, that sounds good. My wife. I just got that. Man, I've got a bit of a conversation going. I'm probably going to go delete it because I felt like a bit of a dick afterwards. But okay, so guys, there's a plugin. Tell me if I'm the asshole here. Okay, I see a brand new plugin developer. They are brand new. I did some research into the company. They have a couple of plugins. One is a drum plugin. One is an amp sim. And they're making some huge claims about this amp sim. Like posting very, very silly quotes. Like, the very first realistic sounding amp sim. It's like, wait, hold up. Hold on a second. Hang on. Or the first amp sim ever to be able to do that edge of breakup sound. Hold up. Hold up. So I called them out a little bit. And I said, I could name 25 plugins off the top of my head that can do. I did though. I tried it. I actually bought it. I bought it because there is no free trial. So I bought it. I bought it because, you know what? Fuck it. Bought it. There's no free trial. That is the first mistake you can make. I want to know, if you're a developer out there, you're thinking to get into the plugin industry. If you're out there and there are a lot of people out there. And in fact, I had a developer recently that told me that my old website, Honest Amp Sim Reviews, was what got them into wanting to make it. That's fantastic, and that made me feel really good about myself. However, going back to it, if you're a new plugin developer, one of the very first things you want to do is you want to make absolutely fucking positive. That you make absolutely positively sure that you have a free and functioning free trial for your brand new company, for your brand new software. I'm telling you, if you don't have that, all the buzz titles, all the buzzwords, all the buzz everything in the world is not going to help you sell your plugin. And I was nice to relay that information. I probably, if I was to go and check right now, I'll bet you I could go and check. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go check. I'd like to go check and see the response that I got. Oh, they just deleted it. Straight up deleted it. Wow. Really? Just straight up fucking deleted and blocked my comments. That's really shady. And I'm going to send them an email after this. Wow. That is very strange. So I said, I can name 25 different plugins that can do what this plugin can do, maybe only better. Have you tried what else is out there in the market? That's the other thing. If you're a new plugin developer and you're looking to get into this, I mean, you better make it your absolute job in life, not to just try. But you're not just going to go and try everything you're competing with, but you're going to go and try it, analyze it, make notes. What you do and don't like about it. What do you think customers like about it? Research that plugin. See what customers do and don't like about it. Research that. Note that too. Put all this shit down into your research. Don't just walk onto the fucking market with a plugin that looks like with a UI that was done by somebody with Photoshop in an afternoon. The UI looked really bad. Okay, that's the other thing. The plugin's got to look. It's got to look good too. So right off the bat, this is a developer that did not have a free trial available at all. No free trial available. Big red flag. Huge red flag to me. If you're a developer out there and you don't have free trials, I'm going to tell every user out there not to buy your stuff. Why am I saying that? Because you look trustworthy. You don't look trustworthy. There's another plugin developer where you have to buy their plugins. You have to pay the money and then he sends you the license via email or something. Nonsense. Nonsense. It's crazy. That is crazy. You need an immediate delivery system. Loud truck. Fantastic. So guys, we're just like, yeah. So all I said to this guy is like, these people did not try anything that clearly, if they're sitting there making those comments and making those claims, crazy claims too. I'll admit, Eddie, you know the product I'm talking about, and you know the claims they were making, and the claims they were making are really crazy. Like, almost like ignoring the fact that there's not 4, 5, 6, 7 really, really good companies out there making really good amp sims. There's like 7 companies out there making stuff that edge of breakup tones. If there's no way they tried all of them before making that claim, because I went and tried this plugin and it sounded like a cardboard box. Even with my own IRs, it still sounded bad. And I was just trying, and they came back with a really snappy comment, and it's very, very unprofessional, as I was a bit trollish, I will admit. And I said, you know what, if you guys are brand new, I've been in this industry a lot of times. If you're brand new, you should get yourself some free trial, because right now that's sort of like, that is mistake numero uno for a brand new company. No, don't have free trials. You want to be a brand new company, you want to put money and actual time and risk into a release, but then you need free trials. You need free trials so people can try your stuff and spread word that it's awesome. You also need a free plugin. Free plugin is actually the best to come out. If you're going to come hit the market, boom, hit it with a free plugin. Not just a free trial, hit it with a free plugin that rips. Something that rips. But man, I know this has been rant and education time with Grandpa Tyler here, but I'm just trying to be straight up with you guys. It was really frustrating. Admittedly so, I could have come into this situation a little bit more, with a bit more tact. But after this, I am going to email them, and I am going to speak to them and just, or should I just leave it alone? Because I don't think that we're going to hear, I don't know. This is a very strange time. It's a very strange conversation. But you know what? If you're already this in the infancy, and if the infancy of your company's, the infancy of your company, and in the comments section that I was in, there were 13 comments, and roughly over half of them were asking for a free trial. And the developer was keep making excuses. There's one that was posted 2.5 months ago, and it was just, we're working on it. 2.5 months ago. I'm sorry, but if you can't come up with a free trial in 2.5 months, holy shit. I know coders and developers that could come up with a plugin, in a day, in 2.5 months. And you can't get your plugin a free trial in 2.5 months. You just lost that guy's money. And the next guy. And the next guy. You just lost that guy's money. He's been waiting. That one guy right there. I'm just, guys, sorry I'm on a bit of a rant here, but that one guy that's been waiting 2 months, well, if he's got any amp sim buddies that are like, man, have you seen this one? It looks interesting. That guy, tell them, no, I've been asking for a free trial, and 2 months ago the guy said he was on one, but nothing's happened. I don't know, it seems a bit fucking shady to me. Instantly, that 5, maybe 10 people, that could spread to 15, 20, 25. That could spread. That shit spreads so fast, so fucking fast. And this is just a lesson learned. it hopefully a lesson learned for these guys, because this plugin is not going to do anything. It's literally like it'd be like me taking a mouthful of my Coke and spitting it into the ocean, expecting some sort of result other than absolutely nothing would happen. That is what releasing that plugin on today's landscape. Guys, if you're going to come out with a plugin, you're coming out with a new company, you're going to make a go of having a plugin company. I respect you and I love your fortitude. I want to help you. I want to help you get your stuff to the masses, but come out with something that fucking rips. Don't come to the market if you're not going to bring anything to the market that hasn't already been done 15, 20 times. Don't come to market with something that sucks, because there's already probably pretty soon, by the end of the year, there might be 10 companies making amp sims that rip. 10. And you're going to contend with that. You better, that's like you're going to fight your way up the ladder through 10 dudes or 10 ladies if you're a lady. And you're going to bring your A game. You're going to fight your way up 10 floors. That's the tough part. You cannot just take some NAM captures or some profiles and throw them in a UI and throw some, some loose coding in there, pay somebody, subcontract to do this or that, throw some buzzwords in there and sell a plugin for $80. You're not going to do that. It's not going to work. Might have worked 10 years ago. It's not going to work now. Okay. So back to tones, and we're moving along. Last, very much not least, at this point, we're going to have this conversation as well. We're talking about licensed stuff. As far as I know, there's an assumption out there that because of this right here, this amplifier that we're looking at currently, hang on, let me look. I'm going to read through the comments. I'm not going to name drop the name of the company. That would be just way too toxic of me. This is more or less me just ranting about something that happened in my day. Me going and calling the company out by name would be me trying to do purposely, do something very negative to a company. And I'm not going to do that, because I'm not saying that they're not going to learn from this first release and come out fucking kicking ass with another plugin. We've seen that 100 fucking times as well. Not 100. We've seen that several times where a company's first effort was, or maybe their first 2 or 3 efforts were, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, some sort of new development in coding, new algorithm, new partnership, new collaborations, new whatever it was, new experience, new someone on your team. Through some sort of means, the company got better and better and better and better and just kept on getting fucking better. Not every company comes out swinging for the downs. Sometimes it takes a couple of fucking knockouts I'm referring to fighting, because we all know what fighting is. Sometimes it takes you to get hit down and fall on your ass a few times. You don't necessarily have to get knocked out. You might fall on your ass a few times before you realize that you need to learn how to fight a bit better. You need to learn how to fight a bit better. And in a lot of those companies' cases, they were dropping those drips and drops into the stream and getting no results, bad results, if anything, maybe negative reviews. I would say a lack of attention or lack of interest is a negative review in itself. Especially if you're paying for like ad bonanza on Facebook. You know what I mean? So I don't, but what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to maybe this company will end up kicking some ass is what I'm saying. So I don't want to do that. I am going to send the company an email and explain our back and forth just a tiny little bit. I don't think in this case, it'll do very much. These guys seem like they are very much drinking their own Kool-Aid, and they love the flavor. Whether they've tasted any other Kool-Aid or not, I'm not sure, but they sure enjoy their own flavor, and that's okay. Make sure you enjoy your own Kool-Aid, guys. Now, moving along. Another part of the conversation we had was licensing. Now, there's a theory that STL Tones has the license for Driftwood amplifiers. And because of this collaboration right here, this was not a collaboration, as far as I understand it, by something I read on Reddit. This was not. This was a collaboration between Lassie Lammert and Driftwood amplifiers. not STL tones as much. Don't know the exact specifics. I'm not going to speak on it. I'm not going to speak on it 100%. I'm also not saying that after the fact that some sort of deal wasn't signed. However, I will say that I did email Driftwood Amplifiers on behalf of a developer, and I was working artist relations at the time, also doing some research. The developer said to me, I'm going to pay you these dollars to reach out to a few companies for me because I just don't have the time for that, but I'd like to start doing some more licensed stuff. And I want you to reach out to a few developers to see if they'd be interested in working. Perfect. No problem. I can do that for you. He's also not a full, he's a very busy guy. Doesn't speak a whole lot of English all the time. So he had me reach out. I reached out to Driftwood Amplifiers, and at the time, they told me their words. That's all I can say. I can only say their words. We're speaking to. They said we are currently speaking to several. Because I asked them, are you currently represented by somebody in the plugin industry? If so, my mistake. Thank you very much for your time. If not, would you be interested in talking with this company over here? And they got back to me and said, at this time, we are not exclusively licensed with one company, but we are speaking with multiple software developers about potential plugins in the future. Something very, very close to that. I am paraphrasing by mere words. So when you see Driftwood on this, don't immediately think it's better than anything. It fucking rips. It does. It rips. I also think that this is a company we're going to get into licensed stuff a little bit, but this is a company that is going to make sure that anything that bears their name rips. Some companies out there, they don't care. Give me the money. We don't care about this fucking plugin thing of yours. Show us the money. You can use our logo and whatever. And then they move along with their life. Everybody moves along with their lives. They don't, and nobody cares. Nobody QCs it. It just goes. And I think with the Fortin series, that changed. Now I think every amp builder that's licensing their name to a plugin is going to make sure that plugin, or at least somebody in the office that's really plugin savvy, is going to make sure that plugin is very, very close to the gear and feels and looks. Things are very much getting approved at this point. They're no longer at the point where companies are just saying, yeah, give me the money and go ahead. We'll see you later. So this one, I don't know. Maybe STL tones. This was months and months ago now. I should know. This was not yesterday. This was about 8 or 9 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so that's quite loud. Bring that back a little bit. The unique thing about this one is it actually has a boost that's built right in. So I'm going to turn this one off. And I'm going to turn this one on. What an ingenious thing to do, right? Why not put a boost right inside the amp that you enjoy, and that way there's nothing needed out front of the amp? Why more amp builders aren't doing this? I'm not sure. I mean, most, especially 51, EVH has got to know how many people are putting a boost out in front. But then again, I don't think there's a lot of panel space left there anyway. I don't know. It just seems like something more amp builders should probably look into. Oh, it sounds so good. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Not everybody deserves the positive grid treatment. And someday I'll do... Guys, someday, I've already ranted way too much in this stream, so I'm not going to go into exactly what my beef is with positive grid, but someday I'm going to make a video, and the whole thing is going to be about my beef with positive grid, and they're absolutely fucking bottom of the goddamn barrel software. It's the worst software in the entire industry, bar none. You want to waste your money? Give it to positive grid. Save your friends money. If you know a friend that's getting into amp sims and they're like, yeah, I saw this stuff from Positive Grid. They've got the Spark amp, so I figured I might buy it. No, don't do it. grab that person like Billy Madison grabs that kid's face and he's like, don't you buy it. Stop talking about this positive grid. You know, shake their face until everything, you know, like that sort of thing is going on. Shake their face. Don't let your friends spend any money on positive grid software. There's no, or don't let your friends buy a Spark either. Fuck's sake. Get them to buy a Katana for anything else. Anything but the Spark. Oh. It's so good. Sounds so good. I'm totally fine if they don't make another plugin. Because this one sounds fine, but I know they're gonna. Rumor has it they're working on a plugin. Because they did mention we are in talk. They mentioned they are in talks with multiple software developers to bring both their Purple and Darkest Nightmare amps to the plugin world, something to that effect. I'm gonna have to go look up the email now, but they were really nice about it, and I redirected them to the powers that be that I was representing, and factually, I am very well aware that nothing came of the scenario. I'm not sure as to why, but wasn't privy to that information. That was not my job. I just got it all set up and then had let people talk and then talk the business, the real business. And I don't think anything got accomplished, but that would just means that one of the other developers out there probably managed to snag them. I'm being that was, like I said, probably 8, 9 months ago now. So you guys can probably expect Driftwood more licensed Driftwood stuff to come out in the near future. I'm gonna have to hope that it's, you know, one of the big boys. It could be STL Tones. I have no idea. But at the time, it was not. But gosh, I really hope. We can only hope that somebody does the Darkest Nightmare and does anybody know? Can someone tell me? Because I've heard clips of both. I've watched clips of both. But I haven't really looked into the exact differences between the Darkest Nightmare and the Purple Nightmare. Can you guys confirm? Can anybody confirm what the differences in those two things may or may not be? Hang on. Sorry, guys. I'm lacking on the chat now. Yeah, Eddie, you got it, by the way. The first plugin to nail the blah, blah. Yeah, come on. We all know that, the hybrid, the hybrid, the Poolin plugin from 13 years ago, the Poolin hybrid has been able to do, never mind that. Okay, if we, let's not say the hybrid then, let's go S-Gear. S-Gear has been able to do edge of breakup sounds for well over a decade. I just want to point that out. Again, so making that claim it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to claim that you're the first plugin to ever really nail the edge of breakup, because factually, Pete Thorne said that I can't remember which plugin, but I remember he was doing a plugin review and he said, you know, traditionally, you know, plugins haven't always been able to do that edge of breakup sound, but he's like, it looks like, he said something to the effect of like, looks like we're way past that point. You know, like, he understands. So if Pete Thorne thinks that we're by that point, I think we're okay. I'm not saying something couldn't absolutely blow my mind with that, but guys, I'm going to be honest and say that I don't think this particular plugin is reinventing the wheel. But when you're claiming to reinvent the wheel, when people understand that there's already a wheel, you're going to get some negative attention for claiming to reinvent the wheel. So that's where we're at. So going back, I'm sorry, I'm firing back and forth here as I'm looking at the comments. I'm going to avoid shit. I'm not going to bother, but man, it's tempting. It's tempting for me to want to at least email the company and be like, this is where I'm coming from. And this is my experience, this is my background, and these are my opinions. So, I mean, it's not like I'm just a troll, you know, like I'm not just some random dude. Like I know things. And I just thought the claims, like I've seen the ads so often that finally I was just like, oh, I've had enough. Ah! Keyboard warrior, activate. Pardon me, everybody. Man, I'm having a great stream. You guys have improved my mood 300%. Thank you very much. I'm feeling creative. So right after the stream, I'm gonna shut this shit down, and I'm gonna go and start recording some shit after this. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm not getting out of here anytime soon. Jerson, whoa boy. Jerson Lopez. How are you, Jerson? Nice to see you. Nice to meet you, Jerson. It's gonna take me some getting used to that Jerson. Jerson. All right, cool name. Phonetically, it sounds wonderful. We haven't got to the cab section yet, but cab section. You have access to a few different cabinets here with 2 different types of speakers, which is great. So they give you 4 different cabinets, and each of those cabinets comes loaded with 2 different sets of speakers, as far as I understand it correctly. So you get 2 Marshalls, effectively. So even though it's the same actual cabinet that's just had the speakers removed and speakers replaced, and they reshot the cabinet, effectively, you as the customer cannot look at it like that's only 4 cabinets. You and I as the customer have got to look at that. That's 8 motherfucking cabinets, bro. That's 8 cabinets. It's not 4 cabinets, that's 8. Effectively, sound-wise, that's 8 cabinets. So you get 8 cabinets with this. Great. You gotta be honest. So you get 2 Marshalls, you get 2 Messas, you get 2 Angles, and 2 Diesels. That is, you are living, and you get 5 mics per cabinet. 5 industry standard mics per cabinet. And that's awesome. And guys, I'm not a shill out here either. Like, I know the way that sometimes the way I talk about plugins might sound like I'm trying to razz you guys up for a sale. You know, that's not my game here, guys. Again, they're having a sale right now. So I would be stupid not to at least throw some business, or at least even if it's one person sees this and goes and buys a plugin, that's great. You know what I mean? Great people over at STL Tones. They employ some of the coolest people on the planet. Sonny, great dude. James, great dude. Coders, not both coders. Federico, and Carlo. The coder and the we'll call him the technician. The man that understands amps like no other and helps the coder understands all the different gear. They have their roles there. Some of the best human beings that I know in this industry. So yeah, head over there to this sale and see what you got. See what they got that might interest you. Whether it's just a pack for something or whether it's this bad motherfucker right here. Lassie Lambert will appreciate your business as well. If you do not follow him on Instagram, the dude is super fun to follow on Instagram because the guy's always showcasing sexy amps, sexy studios he's working in. He's like, oh, this is me for the next week. And it's just like pictures of him working in a studio that's on a resort built for the studio, a private house, a pool. And they're walking from the private house, swimming in the pool, or taking breaks from the studio and just jumping in this pool, and they're smoking cigars. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is super fun. So anyways, make sure you follow Lassie Lambert on Instagram. This should be a tiny bit louder. I'm gonna strip some mids out of this because you guys know I like that. Yeah. Yep. This is fucking great. I've had a great time with you guys today. We didn't get to the spark. And that's okay, because I think I figured out the stuff that I want to work with on this EP with a friend of mine. You guys, it's tentatively under the name Frozen Fist. It might not stay that way. I'm not sure. It's going to be ridiculous. Not sure what the songs are going to be about. He's handling leads. We're going to do some fun stuff. And so next time we gather, I should have I should have some sort of a bass mix to show you guys where we're at with it. Not trying to sell you all music either. This stuff will all be available for free. Won't be trying to sell you guys EPs or t-shirts. Maybe t-shirts though. I'm going to be honest with you guys. We may do some Amsterdam Universe t-shirts. Stay tuned on that. Stay tuned on that. We may do it. If there's a demand and there are people and we can do a pre-order, we may, because our logo, someone's like, yeah, you know, your logo would look really rad on a t-shirt. And I'm thinking, yeah, it really would. And on the back, we're going to put mom. If you don't know what a mom is by now, mom is, if you don't know what that is by now, you're going to have to pick it up as you go along. Mom. Does it mom? It moms, guys. Jersom Lopez, do you have anything to say? Was the tone delicious? Am I looking delicious today? I know I did cut my hair yesterday, and I did trim up the beard a little bit better than I usually trim it up. I did sort of get hit on by like an old lady at the disc golf the other day. Mentioned that I was looking real good. My form was looking real good. She doesn't know anything about disc golf. She's like, I'm looking real good. And yeah, it was an older lady though. So I mean, I guess I'm looking spiffy today. I'm just kidding, Jersom. But if you did have something to add, we would love to hear from you. If the tones were delicious, then that's totally fine. I appreciate you. The tones are delicious. And this plugin can be had by you or anybody else right now during the sale. Yeah, dude, Tasu t-shirts. Hell yeah. I always feel like I need a boost with every 5150, all of them. If I'm doing a certain thing, if I'm doing another thing with them entirely, then I don't need a boost. It really depends on what you're using it for. For modern purposes, I love using a boost on that red channel and then just backing the red channel gain off a little bit and oof. Oh, there was a flub there. There's no coming back from that flubness. Man, I was thinking loosely the other day about replacing these, but they're going nowhere. They also match. If you notice, Matt Heafy actually has this like sort of golden brown, this yellowing browny wooden color that goes through all the different Fishman Fluence models have a different color that rolls through the middle. And on his, he chose this neat, whatever it was, but it matches this guitar. It matches this guitar perfectly. So I think these are going to stick in here. Plus, I really do need an active set of pickups, or at least a few active sets around here to really test things out so that I can have an opinion for all of you, not just for myself and passive pickups. I like having lots of different pickups and lots of different guitars and tunings around. What I'm missing right now is an 8-string. I've thought about it and thought about it and thought about it and thought about it and thought about it some more. I don't want a baritone 6. I kind of want an 8-string. So I think I'm going to pick up an 8-string of some level, and you know, something like I really just want an Ibanez RG8. That's all I want. All right, Ibanez RG8. I can make those things. I refurbished, redid, renovated, overhauled 3 of them, and they're really, really fun to modify. So that is what I'm looking for. There was one in my area, and I just kind of fell asleep on it a little bit, and the guy sold it. So I just got to wait for it, I guess. How is the recto for thrash metal? It's not. It's just not, dude. That is one amp that if someone's like, what's like the worst metal amp, the worst high gain amp that you can use for thrash metal? My first answer would be the Mesavugi dual rectifier. It's just too big and boomy, and the low end is just too much. And there's just not enough in the mid abilities. That is a very scooped by nature, scooped voiced amp. If you're gonna go Mesa, go Mark series all the way for thrash. The Mark series, Mark II C+, Mark this, Mark that. All of them are known for their contributions in both thrash metal and punk rock. It's all you go ahead and look those amps up. Both of them are very well known for rock, punk rock, thrash metal, and metal as well. But I mean the Mark series, I think, you know, prog as well. That type of thing. I think that would be way more where you want to park your car. I feel like, geez, if it's not like hard rock, punk rock, I don't use the rectifier a whole lot. I'm gonna just be straight with you guys. I love the rectifier for very specific things, but the rectifier to me it's a bulldozer and it's a very unique bird. I don't like it for metal that much. I know someone's going to hate me out there for saying that. I just don't like the rectifier. Never really have liked it for metal as much as I like it for hardcore. That's about as heavy as I would get for a rectifier is like American type hardcore, you know, like Hatebreed type, that type of stuff. If you need a rectifier for like American hardcore, you definitely need a rectifier and a 5150 in the same band or just a wall of rectifiers. Sounds great in Danzig. Holy fuck. What's wrong with my brain right now? Rammstein. I almost, what is wrong with my brain? It sounds great in Rammstein as well, but that is also a misconception that Rammstein is a full rectifier band, and it actually, they're only half rectifier and they're half Sans amp fly rig, as we figured out in one of our very first streams that we ever did, the Rammstein Tone Talk stream. I think, I don't know what happened to that stream. Is it still up? I don't remember what happened to it. Or did we do that one on Facebook? I have to go look into that. I'm not saying a rectifier can't do thrash. I'm just saying that if I'm staring at a toolbox, and someone's like, I mean, I'm going to go for the right tool. You know what I mean? I just don't feel like, I'm not saying I can't. I mean, I can go and undo a whole lot of slot screwdriver things with a butter knife. That doesn't mean I'm going to do it if I have a slot screwdriver available, and also fuck anything that uses a slot screw in 2024. Fuck that. If you're from the States, adopt Robertson already. Come on, Robertson is the way, and you know it. Don't be haters on Robertson. In any event, I just think, I think it's got a lot of low end in the rectifier, and that's a good conversation piece, though. Did anybody answer me in ways back? What is the difference? Power amp and voicing mostly. Okay, cool. Darkest Nightmare has EL34 power tubes, and a preamp is more Brit voiced. Oh, thank you very much. Bo Seif is coming through. That'd be just, I fucking love the team we have here, because just wonderful having you guys here for stuff just like that. It's really great, so that I don't have to just sit and wonder about it. And I don't like to just just straight up like drive the stream off to the left and be like, hold on while I Google something, you know, like I don't want to do that either. But this wasn't really the amp that I was here to see. I was actually here to see the Mean Machine, and I've decided that this is not going to be the plugin that I'm going to be using for my EP. I'm going to use the Nameless Suite, and I'm going to use the VS8100 back to our side by side. I'm going to quad track, 2 with one guitar, 2 with the other, and to make a good time out of the whole thing. I think I might use, what do you guys think? Do you guys think in quad tracking scenario, if someone's using 2 guitars and 2 different rigs, should you use a guitar on each rig? Should you use a guitar on each rig, or should one guitar be designated for 2 tracks of each rig? Interesting conversation piece there, eh? Let's see how much this rips. Fucking thrash, bro! That's the tone I'm using. Yeah. So anyways, guys, it's been about 2 hours and 20 minutes. I've had a great time with you guys today, and you guys definitely improved my mood, that's for sure. I'm going to be on a bunch this week, a bunch of little things this week. I'm going to go immediately after this, pick myself a movie. I like to watch movies when I work on mixes and music, guys. I know that seems really strange. I like to put on something I've seen a billion times just for something to kind of occupy, make me realize not to get like all just like straight zoned into what I'm doing. And so I'm going to go do that, work on these thrash tunes and have some fun with it, and I hope that you guys dig it if I show it to you. If not, then it is what it is. We as adults and as artists, we have to ask ourselves when we're in our, even just people at home, like when you're not, if you're just making music for yourself, it can be a tough time expenditure sometimes. Always make the time. If you're feeling creative, create. Find a way to create. Do that. And I promise you, you'll thank me. You'll thank me later. And I'm trying to motivate myself to do just exactly that thing. If I feel like creating, I should create. Find the time to create. And if you never find the time to do your hobbies, or you never find the time to let certain things out, like your creativity, man, things are going to get awful depressing, awful quick in life. And life already gives us enough reasons to be depressed. We don't need more, as far as I know. So anyways, folks, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being with me. And take that. And my challenge for you guys this week is simply go and create something. Write a riff. For just for this stream, rather, not this week, but go write a riff tonight. You know, if it's Pedro, he's probably headed to bed. But so when you wake up tomorrow, Pedro, write a riff, write a bass line, you know, something, do something creative that makes you feel like, you know, you still got it. Okay. That's what I'm going to go do and see if I still got it at the ripe old age of 46. All right, guys. Thank you. Once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all being part of this awesome little community, awesome little team that we have here. It's only going to get bigger. I'm not saying we're trying to make it huge, but guys, if you have one friend, just one, no, don't go and share it to a billion people if you enjoy our stuff. That's cool. I appreciate your shares, but go and share it with one person that you think might drop by and enjoy what we're doing here and be part of what we're doing. That's my challenge for you guys generally. Thanks so much again. We'll see you next time. Thank you.